Hello YouTube, L Plays back again for our Minecraft adventure. We are now on episode 6. Episode 6, we've got better video editing software now, so we've got rid of the watermark. Checked on the last episode, it's not there, so I'm happy about that. I can record for longer now as well, which is all good. Last episode we had a little look around just to see what was around. It's mostly trees and mountains. I don't know what I was expecting in Minecraft. I don't know how many other options of things there were going to be. But yeah, we're mostly surrounded by trees and mountains all around here. There's a really cool area over there that we saw in the last episode that's got like a little tree area surrounded by a cool little pond lake type thing. I'm definitely going to build something on there later on, but at the moment I'm not confident in whatever I build being really cool, so I think it's going to take a bit of playing around with building stuff and getting used to it before I actually build something that I really like. And I really like the area over there, so I don't want to kind of waste that on building something that I end up going, yeah, it's not great. So we're going to save that. That's our sort of future target of something we're going to hit. In this episode I've done a bit of walking around, I've done a bit of dying. I've done a lot of dying, so I'm going to actually start working on this idea that I had to build something over here. I'm going to dig into this cliff and try and make a cool little house. I've mentioned in the last few episodes, so most of you should know what the plan is for now. Just going to think, I'm going to build just a random mess of walkway over to there for now, I think. It's not going to stay there, but just to help me get over there while I'm building. I'm going to do that. Oh, bit of lag there. Cool. So this will be the first episode I actually start building something for the sake of building something. Obviously I built this little house, but that was more just because we needed somewhere to live and not die. So this will be sort of the first day of the rest of our lives. Let's have a look, see how big we want to make it. This corner over here is probably a good measurement. If we sort of start here, come up here, and then go down there, that probably works pretty well. I'm gonna put some blocks there just to give me an idea of where I need to dig out. So what did I say? I said this corner, didn't I? I think one more in, we'll get rid of this bit, and that will be our edge. I'm not actually going to build it with this wood, I'm just marking it at the moment. That was weird, took some full damage but didn't do any actual damage. Does that work? Yeah, that'd be cool. And then have a little roof coming out and stuff. That should work, hopefully. So while I'm doing this as well, I'll tell you guys about the amazing weekend that I've just had recently, just before I actually started making my first load of videos. So I know this is the 6th video, but it's actually been in 2 sessions. So the first 4 videos I made all in sort of one go, like 2 days ago, and then I wasn't going to do any more until the weekend after, but now that I've started, I'm just really excited to keep making videos. So here I am making a few more now. So yeah, it's only been a few days since I started making videos, but the weekend just before I started making videos was an absolute nightmare. So I live in a flat with my girlfriend. Friday I was at the gym, and my girlfriend randomly came into the gym, just turned up at the gym, like she'd never even been to my gym, so I don't know how she knew where I was, but she just turned up in the gym and told me that we were locked out of the flat. So she'd brought her key with her, so she hadn't left her key, but she'd left my key in the door on the inside of the flat. And obviously once you shut the door, the flat locks, which normally would be fine. She'd just have her key and she'd unlock it from the outside. But because my key was still on the inside, couldn't get her key in, we were locked out of the flat. So we ended up stuck outside of the flat for probably a good sort of hour, maybe a little bit more, while we had to wait for an emergency locksmith to come out. This was on a Friday night, so it ended up costing us £95. Well, costing her £95. She paid for it because she locked us out. Probably could have helped, but I'm poor at the moment as well, so I wasn't going to. But yeah, so we ended up paying £95 and waiting outside in the cold for like an hour and a half to get back into the flat. This was on Saturday. And what made it worse as well is, so I'll just let you guys, I don't actually smoke normally, but occasionally, like when I go out drinking with friends and stuff, I'll have cigarettes. But obviously, being locked out of the flat with nothing to do, being a bit stressed, I was like, oh, I'll run to the shop and I'll get us some cigarettes while we're locked out. I don't know why, that's just something people seem to do when they're stressed, right? You just have a cigarette, even if you don't normally smoke. So that was the idea. So I went to our local shop that we go to pretty much every single day and have done since we moved into the flat. Went in there to get some cigarettes, and I didn't get served. So I'm in my sort of mid-20s. Going there all the time, just wasn't expecting to get asked for ID or anything, and obviously being locked out of the flat, all my stuff was in the flat, so I couldn't even prove that I was old enough to buy the cigarettes. So I ended up not getting them from that shop, and I had to go to another shop like further down the road, which is not like a huge deal, but when you're already in like a bad mood because you're locked out, it was just like, oh great, how much worse can things get? So yeah, so that was my Friday night. Did eventually get back in, and everything was fine. And you think that's enough adventure for one weekend, but then on Saturday, to make things even worse, we're sitting there watching telly on Saturday night, and I could just hear dripping in the kitchen. And the tap in our kitchen's a bit crap, so a lot of the time we'll turn it off, but it'll keep dripping, and it's a bit annoying. You have to sort of like really, really twist it to get the water to stop, and then even then, sometimes it will just stay on for a bit until it dries up. So I heard dripping, like I could hear it in the background for ages, but we're just like lazing around on the couch watching TV. Couldn't really be bothered to get up and go and turn the tap off. Didn't think anything of it, just watching telly, and then when I did actually get up and go into the kitchen, it turned out that it wasn't the tap dripping at all. It was the entire ceiling leaking water and flooding the kitchen. So I'm not kidding, the entire ceiling, all the way across the ceiling from front to back, there was just like water slowly trickling out across the whole thing. So this was Saturday night. Obviously we're like panicking, thinking, I'll be honest, like, I didn't want to go in there. I was kind of thinking like the ceiling's going to collapse at any moment. I have no idea if like a pipe's burst or something. And obviously with the water coming out above your head, all I was thinking was like the ceiling's going to fall down. So we tried to get hold of our property management people. Obviously Saturday night they were closed, couldn't get hold of anyone there. So we had to like dig through old emails to find the emergency number. Called our emergency number for the flat, explained to them what happened, said there's water coming in through the ceiling, it's really bad, we need someone to come out and stop it like straight away. The woman actually said, do you think it's probably coming from the flat above? And I said, yeah, I'd guess that's like the only place it could be coming from, because it's just another flat straight above us, so it's not like we've got another floor or anything like that. So she was like, because it's the flat above that's actually probably got the problem, there's nothing that we can do to help you. And I was kind of like, you've got to be kidding me, like the ceiling's going to fall down in your flat then if you don't help. And she was like, honestly, all I can advise is you go and talk to them upstairs and see if they can get the problem fixed, or failing that, call the fire brigade and they'll be able to turn the water off. So that kind of annoyed me, that she was basically like, not my problem, don't care, sort it out yourself. So I ended up going upstairs, knocking on the flat to see, like, I was hoping they'd just left the tap on or something. It'd be like really easy, just turn it off and it would be fine, just a bit of a flood kind of thing. So the person who opened the door, it turns out there was actually just a young girl in the house. Her parents were at work or something, so she was not like a toddler or anything, but she was too young to be able to like really help. Obviously she had no idea like who she would need to call. She didn't know who managed her flat, who the agent was or anything like that, so she couldn't do anything. She was trying to get hold of her mum, but she couldn't get hold of her. This whole time there's still like water coming through our flat, and then actually like cut all of our electrics off, so we lost internet, we lost electric, we lost all the lights. So all this is going on. I'm getting like really worried, thinking the whole flat's going to collapse or something crazy. So we ended up having to call the fire brigade on our Saturday night. and then waiting for the fire brigade to turn up. So the full fire engine came, full fire crew, about 6 or 7 firemen turned up. They sort of went into the flat upstairs. I'm not sure what they did, but they were able to stop the leak. They didn't sort of tell us what had caused the leak, but they just said they'd found the cause of the leak and they managed to stop it. They basically told us to leave, like don't touch any of the electrics until we've had someone. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Just caught away in my story. Forgot that it was night time. Yeah, so we've been told not to use the electrics at all until we've had somebody come out from our property management to check over the electrics and make sure they're safe. So obviously we had to wait until the next day to get hold of anybody. Got an electrician to come out. That he couldn't come out until like 1 o'clock the next day. So we had no internet, no heating, and it's absolutely freezing in our flat, like so cold. That was actually another problem we had recently. Our electric heater on the wall caught fire. So I'd had to like go out and buy another electric heater anyway. But yeah, when there's no heating in our house, it's you might as well be outside. It's just there's no insulation. It's just so cold. Just have a sleep so I don't get killed. Yeah, so when the electrician didn't come out till like halfway through the next day, our kitchen was like soaked. Our toaster was completely ruined. We found out afterwards actually that it was the toaster that had cut all the electric off. So despite the fact there's water coming from like the ceiling and the walls and everything was wet, the only thing that had actually broke the electrics was the toaster, because the toaster had got wet and like short circuited or whatever happens when stuff gets wet. That being on the circuit had like tripped all of our electrics off. I tried flicking like all the trip switches on and off the next day to see if that worked, but obviously because they'd already gone off, I thought that was them on, so I'd flick them on and then back off again thinking that was turning them on. So that didn't help until the electrician came and did it. So yeah, we had no electricity, no internet until that was fixed the next day, and the electrician actually ended up like taking all the light fittings off and drying them out of our hairdryer. Like really ghetto electricity methods there. But it worked, so we got it all back in the end. But that was like most of our Saturday ruined as well. So we got locked out on Friday. The entire kitchen ceiling started leaking water on Sunday. We had no internet for the most of the, and honestly the no internet was like the worst thing. Actually the heating was the worst thing, but not having internet was terrible as well. There's literally just nothing we could do in the house, and I couldn't even play like games without internet or anything because we couldn't turn the electricity on at all. So yeah, that was how my weekend went before I started doing all the YouTube stuff. Yeah, so that was an absolute nightmare, and then it was Sunday night. We got everything back, and I was like, right, I need to do something positive this weekend, so I'm finally going to start the YouTube channel. And that was my crazy weekend and how I actually ended up finally starting my channel as well. So yeah, there's a little story about my weekend. Hopefully you guys have had much better weekends lately than I have. So we've dug out a little space there. I'm trying to think now if I actually want to go to here. This little box area looks... no, it probably looks a little bit too square. We'll dig out to where we originally were going to. I'm not sure what I want to do like inside the house, like how I want it to look or anything like that. I have an idea of how I want the outside to look like with this. I kind of want to have like a wooden log frame, so it kind of looks like it's all being held up by big like log beam support kind of things, and then some vines over the top, that kind of stuff. But inside I'm not really sure what I want to do. I'm going to make it a bit bigger than that, of a little box house, and set up some stuff. Actually, to be honest, I think I'll probably keep everything set up over there for now, because it's all just a bit of a mess at the moment. Like, when I actually make somewhere, I want to have like crafting tables and furnaces all in a place that actually looks good. So until we've got it all sorted, I think we'll keep using that other house to actually live in for now. Better eat some food. So yeah, who knows what we'll do with the inside. I've got an idea of the the outside, how I want that to look. I'll get that done, and then I'll worry about what comes next. That's pretty much my philosophy in life. Just leave it till later. If it's not a problem for now, then don't worry about it. Oh, there's somebody at my door. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to pause the episode. Okay, guys, I'm back. I have actually just realised that we're at the 15 minutes anyway, so I am going to end the episode there. We've made a bit of progress on our house, and we'll make some more in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and peace.